what kind of adjustments do you see happening in game three, whether it's on the Nugget side or the Heat side or both?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think from the Heat perspective, they aren't going to make too many adjustments because at the end of the day, their original game plan from the jump has been working. At the end of the day, I don't think the Heat are going to make any adjustments. But for Denver, I think Denver is going to probably try to force Jokic in the paint more,
Yeah,
create schemes so that he has a larger presence in the paint. And also, I think they need to try to get others active because
yeah,
if you have too much on Jokic, I think Spo will be able to eventually draw something out to somewhat stop him. Maybe like to make things a bit more challenging for
yeah,
Jokic to be productive. So they're gonna need to get production from other players such as like Porter or Gordon from
yeah.
a offensive standpoint. I just trying to get more players involved from the Nugget side because you can't rely on one player for like multiple games to be have
Yeah,
games.
yeah. To your point, if they are able to get Jokic to have more touches in the paint,
Mm-hmm.
that will just organically open up more shots for other guys
The
because
players, yeah.
when he's in the paint, it forces the Heat to collapse their defense.
Yeah, because no one can guard him one on one. Like
Exactly.
no one on the Heat
Yeah.
can go one on one
And
in the paint
yeah,
against.
and that's also besides Murray's two threes in the fourth quarter of game two, that's also why the Nuggets were able to get back to the game because when whenever Jokic was in the paint in the second half of the fourth quarter, he was just scoring layups the entire like he missed only one shot, right? So to your point, him being in the paint will be able to get guys open shots because the defense will collapse, guys will get open for threes, guys can cut, so on and so forth. And I do think that's one adjustment that the Nuggets will make. And I think the other thing is they'll probably just watch film to make sure that guys don't get lost of defense on back doors and switches and dribble handoffs. For the Heat, I think the one adjustment that they are gonna try to make is it's gonna be minor. I do think that they're gonna try to get Jimmy onto more favorable matchups or into switches that can get Aaron Gordon off of him because he's had two poor shooting games in a row. And now they have enough of a sample size to see how Denver is guarding him.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that while it'll be minor, I do think that um Spo will try to find opportunities to get Jimmy in better positions to get shots and to try to get him into spots on the floor where he's comfortable, which is mostly on the right side of the floor. Like he operates like 80% of his stuff on the on the right hand side of the floor. So those are the only minor adjustments that I see.
Mm-hmm.
This series is very different than the other series that we've watched in the conference finals and semifinals. Is like both coaches kind of already showed their hands already,
Yep.
like both offensively and defensively. Like the Nuggets know how the Heat are gonna guard them and vice versa. Like um because everyone has enough time to watch the film on the Heat zone and the everyone knows that to limit the Denver offense is you have to make Jokic a scorer, right? So it's I think both teams kind of have a good idea of how the other team is going to play already. So I do think that for the majority of the series, it'll be very minor adjustments and mostly just based on execution.
Pretty much. I mean, at the end of the day, it boils down to if they make their shots. That's.
Yeah,
I mean, it's more obviously more than that, but that's gonna be what it is. And I mean, maybe the Nuggets can plan for Duncan Robinson if he drives. Because to be fair, like Duncan Robinson is also a pretty tall dude. Um,
yeah,
so it kind of gives them that. And I also think that they're gonna probably keep. I would think the Heat are gonna keep Kevin Love on the court because they realize maybe we need this size because
yeah,
uh they're going against Jokic.
yeah. At least for game three, at least. Yeah,
That's for game three. I mean, if he's not playable, then you're probably gonna bench him like in game one. But they probably realized that they needed size, and that's why they played him.